Welcome to Monday, June 20th, 2022, this Day Weather Podcast, brought to you by Cowboy State Daily. Cowboy State Daily has more original Wyoming news content than any other news organization in the state. Cowboy State Daily, sign up for the daily newsletter and check them out on their Facebook page. As we start the week and as we actually officially start summer tomorrow, the trend is going to be for cooler weather, windy areas, then temperatures bounce back up again as we get on into the middle to the end of the week. The cold front that's going to be passing through today and into tomorrow will produce showers and thunderstorms across parts of Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, the Pacific Northwest. Could have a little bit of severe weather up in those areas. For other areas in the central Rockies, it's going to be windy and it's cooler. Some of these showers and thunderstorms will be found up north. Some will be far south as well. The middle of the Rockies, the central Rockies, mainly just looking at wind today and cooler temperatures. Now, we are going to warm up again mid to late in the week. Thunderstorms are going to be basically contained down into New Mexico, parts of Arizona, and southern and southwest Colorado and southeastern Utah, as the subtropical moisture that had surged northward over the weekend will be suppressed to the south. Now, that subtropical moisture comes back northward again this weekend, bringing showers or thunderstorms, but believe it or not, another cool front is going to move across the Pacific Northwest and the northern Rockies this weekend, dropping temperatures again. So we're still kind of going through these ups and downs with temperature. Satellite photo today shows the upper level low over northwestern areas of Montana and the trailing cool front right here. This is also subtropical moisture right here surging all the way through. So this front up here into Montana and the low will produce shower and thunderstorm activity up into this area today. Some severe weather up in the northeastern parts of Wyoming, northeastern Montana, and the Dakotas. But cooler, drier air is coming in behind this trough. So this area here will see drying conditions developing as that drier air comes in. And there you can see the trough right here. Now, over the weekend, we had a lot of heat in the northern plains and the central parts of the United States, and this is where the heat's going to be today, while cooler conditions invade the Pacific Northwest and the northern Rockies. This is a pretty strong and cold system for this time of year. You know, the Gulf of Alaska is just churning out one of these systems after another. Here's another one. This is what's going to come in later this week and into this weekend. So while there is surging heat at times across the United States, these Pacific troughs coming through are just kind of knocking down the heat as it builds, and we kind of are going back and forth. As we get into Tuesday, the high stays here. Notice the trough kind of gets flattened out a little bit, so it'll bring in cooler air, but this high is getting pretty strong as it normally does this time of year. But we still have this low back up into the Gulf of Alaska. Now, we're going to have a windy day, I'm afraid. This is between today and Wednesday. All the green areas here show where the winds are going to be pretty stout and gusty. Up where the trough is going to come through across the Dakotas, a very windy couple of days coming on up. So it is going to be a bit brisk and breezy on the backside of this trough coming into the northern Rockies. So I-80, I-25, and sections of I-90 today, if you're going to be driving an RV, pulling a trailer, you're going to encounter some gusty winds. The dry air associated with this front will be through by afternoon. You can see the subtropical moisture is going to be shunted south. So this is where the shower and thunderstorm activity will be today in the green areas right here. A wedge of dryness is going to really limit any showers or thunderstorm activity across central and southern Wyoming and parts of central and northern western Colorado and Utah. However, as the week progresses, we're going to start to see the blue and the green here return to the north. This is the forecasted precipitation through Wednesday, and you can see that where we just showed you where the rain's going to be. In the northern areas and the southern areas, very little in between in that drier air mass. These are the forecasted high temperatures relative to average by tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is the first official day of summer, the longest day of the year, but across a large swath of the West, temperatures here are going to be below average. There'll be a lot of areas tomorrow, only in the 60s and 70s up here, only 70s and 80s into Colorado, below that moisture shield coming up with the subtropical moisture. New Mexico will be far below average. So the first day of summer in the west is not going to be hot by any stretch of the imagination, except into California here, and then you can see where the heat's going to be. This is where it's going to be a hot first day of summer across the nation's midsection and up into the Great Lakes. As we go forward, this is Saturday. The high is still kind of there. The clockwise spin around this high, though, is going to draw subtropical moisture northward. But notice there's a frontal system coming across the northern Rockies and the Dakotas, part of those Gulf of Alaska systems, and this is going to send some cooler air south by Saturday into Sunday, at least across the Pacific Northwest and the northern Rockies. This will set up a chance for showers and thunderstorms a little bit further north as the combination of that subtropical moisture coming up here meets up with that cool front, and there should be some shower and thunderstorm activity late in the week and over the weekend across portions of Wyoming, western areas of South Dakota. Look at Colorado. Southern and southwest Colorado, northern New Mexico, they really need it. They're going to be getting some more as that subtropical flow continues. As we look at the temperature forecast relative average, this is by Saturday. Look at this front bringing in the cooler air again. So yes, we've got some hot days, but every time it starts to get hot for 2 or 3 days, these fronts are knocking down temperatures, and that's going to happen again by this weekend. Have yourself a good Monday. We'll see you tomorrow.